Welcome to MSL Talk with Tom Caravela, a podcast specifically designed for MSLs and all things field medical. Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. My guests today are Rachel Kennedy, Lashandra Taylor, and Nirav Shah from DIMA, Diversity in Medical Affairs, which is a networking group. And we discussed the power of networking. So I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Excellent group, awesome conversation. Thanks for joining us. Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining me today. How are you?
Doing great.
I'm good.
Good,
Awesome.
Tom. How are you?
I'm great. I'm really great. I'm enjoying the holiday season and looking forward to 2021.
I think we all are.
Yeah, it's totally. So, well, listen, I am so excited to have you guys on, and I can't wait for you to share your story. But before we do that, why don't we start with some introductions? If you guys want to start, maybe Rachel, why don't you start, and then we'll go to Nirav, and then we'll go to Lashandra. I'm just kind of going in the order that I see you guys on my screen.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be on. I'm Rachel Kennedy. I'm a PhD by training. I have a degree in biomedical science and did a postdoc in neurology. And I've been an MSL for 3 years at EMD Serrano, and I currently reside in Cape Elizabeth, Maine.
Awesome. So Nirav.
Thank you so much for having us on today, Tom. My name is Nirav Shah. I did my PhD in pharmacology from the Ohio State University, after which I did a postdoc from University of Florida in pharmacometrics. And currently, as of November 16th, so a little over a month ago, I started working for Johnson & Johnson. I'm a translational PK/PD scientist. So essentially, I just help the preclinical studies in animal studies and try to estimate the first in human dose and design of the phase 1 clinical trials. So I am originally from India. I've been in the US for the past 10 years now. So it's been a great journey, and I'm very excited to talk to you today.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your new job. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
That's great. So Lashandra?
Hi. Like you said, my name is Lashandra Taylor. I am currently finishing my PhD program at Florida A&M University. My background is from retail pharmacy with one of the big chains. And currently I have just started a new position via contract with alphanumeric as a healthcare professional within their medical information system team.
Awesome. Wow. Great. Well, congratulations to you too.
Thank you.
Great way to start the new year, new jobs and exciting stuff. So, as I said before, I'm really excited for you guys to share your story. I had a chance to speak with Rachel about it originally, and she explained how you guys all got together and formed the Diversity in Medical Affairs group. And why don't we start there? So if one of you wants to just jump in and tell us, how it all started, I'd love it.
I'm happy to start, and I'm going to ask for some contributions along the way because it is just one person's story that is actually many people's story. So it started about 6 months ago, directly from a comment on a LinkedIn post that I had made. And the comment was, let's form a network specifically related to diversity. And the name came later. Really, the people came first. And the post was a very personal one, and I felt pretty vulnerable posting it at the time, but it really was just in response to societal inequity and the pain that could just be felt reverberating, everywhere. And a reflection around me that in, my MSL team and more broadly in medical affairs, it's not representative of our country, and how could we perhaps do something? And for me, I could see that I've done some good over time by helping individuals break into the MSL career. And that itself hasn't been a truly diverse enterprise. And so I thought maybe I could reach out and say, hey, I'm specifically looking to connect and to help with people of color break into the MSL role. If you come from an academic background, maybe I could be of even more help. It was a really simple, 2-line post that got 10,000 views in, a matter of hours. So there was a real response. Yeah, in a matter of hours. And the comment that came directly after was, let's form a network. And what's wonderful about it is, of course, I did not feel prepared to start a network. And so I started thinking about, who are the people that I know? The first step of networking. What are my tools? What are the things that I can use to help me? How can I bring the right people in? What are the conversations that we need to have? And so 2 people that are also on the screen with me. So Nirav and I had a conversation the day before I made this LinkedIn post. It was our first encounter, and I'd love to hear a little bit about how he thought about my approach of getting him involved. But essentially, I said, I can recognize that you're a smart person. This is my idea. What would you do if there were no limits? And I would love to hear what he has to say. And for LaShondra, I would love for her to give us some background on how long she was on LinkedIn before we connected. And I would love to hear how she really reached out and why she reached out, because she was someone I had not met before that post, but she had direct messaged me and we just immediately connected. And I think these are some of the seeds of successful networking in action. So Nirav, if you want to speak a little bit.
Absolutely. So I think my response to this comment would cover our topic of the podcast is diversity in medical affairs and power of networking. So for me, it was a step towards trying to improve my network and talk to as many MSLs or medical affairs professionals as possible. And Rachel, through her post, had was willing to lend an ear and it's like, hey, if anybody wants to talk to me, I'm there. So I reached out to her. We talked about. I sent her my resume. I told her what my aspirations are. We talked about that for a little bit, and then I kind of we clicked, we connected, and then when I went back to the post and I looked at all the comments and I was like, hey, let's start a network. Let's just not just keep discussing it. Let's just go for it, and we'll find our way. So I do it was kind of a networking move for me, but at the same time I do believe in this vision of inviting people from diverse networks. I am an immigrant to this country. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of challenges that immigrants like me have to face, to pursue their degrees, with being far away from the family. If you have a group, if you have a platform where there are like-minded people pursuing a similar goal, it is a relief. It's a good way to come and talk and learn a lot of things. So that's when Rachel and I started, and then LaShondra, we hadn't even met, and then we just came up with it. And I think it all started with a flyer, I guess. I designed a prototype of a flyer, sent it to her, and we were like, okay, let's go for it. We had our mission statement, and so it was very exciting. And I'm really glad that I reached out to Rachel and we talked.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I should just say that one of the things that I noticed immediately from Nirav when he reached out to me with his CV is that he was going somewhere. And I think one of, again, the seeds of networking is really knowing your value and what you have to offer in the conversation. And for him, it was, I'm going somewhere, be a part of my journey. And that to me is always a really attractive story. It's, I'm not going to do this for you, but I want to help you. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you completely take the doors off whatever you're trying to do. And I saw that. And I saw that even from his resume, which, everyone has a resume, but his was really thoughtful, and it was powerful to see someone's experience on paper and then to hear him speak about it. I knew he was very creative and intelligent. And so when I said, what would you do? What is it that you thought we should do? I mean, I think this is a really cool feature of DEMA, and I'd love people to hear more about it.
Yeah. Awesome. And then LaShondra, how did you get involved? Because obviously you came in right after.
Yes. Like I said, like Rachel said, I had not met anyone. Mm-hmm. I was on LinkedIn previously, but I was one of those people that didn't do anything with it. I just kind of, would pick on people's, link. I wouldn't link with people, but I would just try to see what other people were doing. But I wouldn't message people because I had no idea what I was doing to begin with. I was new. So probably about 3 or 4 months prior to Rachel's post, I started trying to network with different people. Just, saying hello and just like the normal greeting. Because like I say, the networking part, this is still kind of new to me. So I networked with one person, and she was a link with Rachel, and that's how I saw Rachel's post. So I thought that it was interesting. I said, oh, let's just see what can happen with it. I had no idea. I didn't know what was going to occur. I just thought that, well, maybe she'll tell me that in the future, if you'll just tell people about what we're doing, send them messages since I'm in graduate school and it's an HBCU, just let them know what we're doing and just help them, pull people through the group. I had no idea that it was going to come to this fruition where I would be like doing a podcast, doing a YouTube, speaking to all of these different people. And it's been an experience.
That's awesome. And Rachel, what was the inspiration behind this? Didn't you tell me you saw something kind of prompted you to take action and do something?
Oh, sure. It was a literal sign in my neighborhood, an actual sign. You often ask for signs and sometimes you get literal ones. And in this case, it was a sign that just said, white people do something. Which for me, I couldn't not see that sign, having seen the sign. And I couldn't not feel like I was being directly called to do something.
Right. Yeah. And you did.
Yes.
And here we are.
And here I am.
Yeah.
And timing, as we all know, timing has a lot to do with life. And LaShondra, she direct messaged me and said, I can help you. A very honest, statement, cut to it. And it came at a time when I was thinking to myself, I am going to do this. I've committed to doing something. And now I'm committed to something larger and I need help.
Yeah.
And that's when the message came of, I can help you. Let me know how I can help you. And so it was very clear to me that, okay, in the next steps, I'm going to bring in this really intelligent scientist and I'm going to bring in this really intelligent PhD candidate, and let's start having conversations about how everybody can benefit.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the successful things, if I look back on my own history of networking, is really coming from this place of plenty, where there's enough for everybody and we can all share it and benefit and we can all win. And I don't believe in another equation.
Yeah. Well, and thank God, because I think if there, with more people like you and all you guys that are giving back and paying it forward and helping others, it creates opportunity for other people. And I applaud you guys. I'm really grateful to be able to be a part of your story and to be able to share your story, to do what I can to help you. So what's the mission? Let's talk about what your goals are and what the mission is for the group.
Okay, I think I'll take this one. So essentially, simply put, the mission is to enhance diversity in medical affairs, but it doesn't just limit to that. We want to create, or we have created, and we want to build on our platform where we are inviting people from different walks of life in different parts of their career, medical affairs or not, but it's focused mostly on medical affairs, where either you are an aspiring candidate, you are a seasoned veteran, any way you can help. All we want is to ask for your time. There is no other commitment. We meet once a month, and we have this very interesting this idea developed organically, where we were like, okay, what do we need to succeed in this field? Is a good communication skills, good presentation skills, networking, knowing where the right opportunity is, trying to have mentors in the group who I can reach out. Rachel is my mentor. I can reach out to her. We can connect. She will take out some time for me whenever she can and answer my questions, help me out. So a situation like that. So essentially, we what we do in our meetings as part of a mission is give opportunities to aspirants to present. So I presented on a topic in our first meeting. Somebody else can present. So it's not just we are inviting already established MSLs or medical affairs professionals to just speak on a topic. We are also giving opportunity of our group members to go out and present. We are recording those presentations and we are putting it out there so that, entire community can look at their skills, entire community can look at how talented they are and give them an opportunity. So a lot of moving parts, but essentially just enhance diversity and provide a networking platform for people.
I love that idea about letting people present, because there are so many folks that are trying to establish their careers, but they haven't had a lot of opportunity to present. Therefore, they can't put presentations on their CV or their resume.
Right.
So I always tell people, well, join Toastmasters or volunteer and do presentations, anywhere in any way that you can and document it. So this is an awesome way to do that.
And they happen to be on very timely and cutting edge topics. So the idea is that a more seasoned person would be interested in attending the meeting to hear something on the topic. Again, building the community from both ends.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah. So it's not that we are focusing our presentation on the research that we do. It could be, I presented on gene therapy. I don't work on gene therapy, but I'm interested in the topic. So, it was kind of my idea to just go and showcase that, hey, I can present on a topic that I like, but I don't have a lot of expertise in. So yeah, it's something that I think is lacking in other networks, in other areas that I have seen, where not a lot of, as you rightly point out, not a lot of opportunities given for aspirants to present. So that's something that we can provide in our platform.
So who is it really for? Is it for anyone? Is it for just people that are looking to break into medical affairs? Is it, what's the kind of the target audience, if you will?
The target audience is basically aspirants, those who are looking to get into medical affairs. A lot of the people that we have so far, they're interested in the MSL, but it's not just the MSL career path. Mm-hmm. We also have people that are interested in the regulatory, maybe the writing portion and other components. But we're looking for people that are trying to enter. And then, as Nirav said, we're also looking for people that are already in those fields. Mm-hmm. We have quite a few in the MSL, but we're also looking for people that are in the fields of the writing and the regulatory and other aspects of medical affairs as well.
Got you. Okay. So it's just folks that are aspiring to get into industry, maybe medical affairs, but also maybe some other roles.
Yes.
And so how do they get involved? Is it to try to look you guys up on LinkedIn? Is that really kind of the place where you can, they could find you?
They can find us on LinkedIn through the LinkedIn group DEMA, which stands for Diversity in Medical Affairs. Mm-hmm. And we also have an email where they can contact us, and that's diversityima@gmail.com.
Awesome. So, and I'll also, I'll send out an announcement like I do weekly, to announce this podcast, and I can have, if it's okay with you guys, I'll put the link right in that announcement.
That's perfectly fine.
That's helpful. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. So let's talk about networking. So this is a networking group, and so far, 2 of the 3 of the people that I'm talking to just got jobs. You just got new jobs. Is that a part of this networking? And, how effective has this been so far? I know it's still new, but it seems like it's going well.
Well, I guess I can start.
Yeah.
Basically, the medical information position that I started, honestly, that occurred because one day prior to one of our meetings, I was on a little early and Rachel was on, and she asked me, what do I want to do? I said, in all honesty, I'm not sure if I want to be an MSL. I don't know if that's really part of my personality to do that. And so she said, well, since you have a background in pharmacy, what about medical information? I honestly didn't know medical information existed. So I started doing searches like around probably that night or the next day. And once I started doing that, I just kept putting that in my search box for LinkedIn and also with Indeed. And and that's how I came across alphanumeric. And then I also found one of the recruiters for alphanumeric, and I sent him a message. I think the day before, I'd already sent my resume. So he contacted me the next day, And then in the span of all of that, I also contacted started reaching out to people within the company. And one of them contacted me back, and we've been messaging into each other since. So that's how my medical information, that's how that came to be.
That's a great story. That's it right there. I mean, I really hope that there's going to be so many people listening that I'm hoping will take that roadmap and really model their search after that, because that's what you need to do. That's really what you need to do. And Nirav, you were going to share some of your story. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. So I just want to speak to the power of networking before speaking to our group in this case, because I am not doing an MSL job right now. I'm not in medical affairs yet. But what I have learned through networking, through just reaching out to people and asking, having a conversation with them, talking to them, has helped me so much shape my journey. So that I just want to encourage people who are out there to not just focus and have like a tunnel vision on something that they are trying to achieve and they are unable to achieve. But there are a lot of things. Cast a wider net, and you will know how to do that if you talk to more and more people. In terms of networking and related to this group, the DEMA, Rachel, how I can use this as an example is that I had an interview. And I didn't know who to go to ask us a few questions. I reached out to Rachel, and she helped me out. She looked through my slide deck. She gave me some ideas on how can I improve that, and that massively helped me. So that's something that, a power of networking in a platform like this. This is not just about medical affairs. Later in my career, I may or may not get there, but I know exactly the path. I know what other people are doing. I know what Rachel is doing. I know what LaShondra is doing. I know my strengths, and I know how can I go there, right? In terms of networking about medical affairs and MSL, it started for me in 2018 by just sending a cold message to one of the MSL. She is in my network, and we are really good friends. I met with her multiple times personally. She was the one who actually laid down for me what an MSL actually is. What do they do? I was like, what do they do? What do you guys do? And what is your day-to-day look like and stuff. So knowing all those things helped me to kind of understand, okay, is this something that I want to do? Yes. What are my strengths in this? What are my weaknesses in this? And working all through all these questions helps during the interview processes. I have had 2 MSL job interviews. I didn't get those jobs, but I like to believe that I was well prepared for those. And I want to also encourage a lot of people who are in the situation that I was before I got my new job, as being a postdoc or being a PhD candidate, where they think that, oh, we have to work on our communication skills, and we have to, work in a specific therapeutic area and kind of just reach out and apply till we get the MSL position. No, you can go get an industry job if you get an opportunity, because guess what? Any kind of industry job is going to give you more idea about how the drug development, discovery and development process goes on in industry. And you can use that 2 years, 3 years down the road to apply for that MSL position. And industry experience counts. It's very valuable. You will have a better idea of how it works and use that in your interview to get that MSL position or get that medical affairs position. So for me, the power of networking is to understand all I can about the drug discovery and development process. And I got my job in the industry. I got to learn so many more things in the past 1 month that I did not even know of as a postdoc working in academia.
That's amazing. Rachel, you're like a rock star. I mean, you
Yeah, she is. She is.
Seriously, if you ever want to decide to make a career change, you should be a recruiter and come.
You're joking. I've thought about it a couple of times, not in a serious way, but I really do get a lot of joy out of matching people with things that they're meant to do. There's a joy to that. Yeah,
you did it. I mean, I want to congratulate you specifically for an amazing job, and I want to congratulate Nirav and LaShondra for in a month utilizing this resource. And I could hear the excitement from both of you as you're talking about it. And Rachel, I can hear the excitement because I think that from what you and I discussed, I don't think you really totally understood exactly the magnitude of what this was going to be when you started it. Is that accurate?
It's accurate, it's fair, it's truth in reporting here. Yes, I really didn't know. It started with a curiosity and an openness and a willingness to serve in whatever capacity took shape. And,
Yeah.
you know, it was initially very comfortable for me to just put on a LinkedIn post
Yeah.
and to just think, okay, I'm doing this. I'll connect with some people. I'll have some individual conversations as I do normally, but this time it will be with people who potentially could have a greater need. And that's what I'm going to do. And this has grown into much more. And it is so enriching just on a personal level to be able to share. You use the word superstar, rock star, but I know tons of those people. You know, in my network, I have tons of superstars and rock stars where, you know, I was joking in our last meeting, we had Danny Jones, who's a global medical director on, and he was speaking, and I was joking, you know, if he reads the back of a cereal box, I learned something. You know, it's like
Yeah.
he's that type of person. And if we are able to get that type of visibility, you know, get the superstars and the rock stars in a place where we can connect them with people who are super smart but just don't have visibility to these great people, I feel like that's where we can really make change. And at least this is an area where I feel comfortable saying, I see how wonderful, special, and talented you are. And I know this person who's had, let's say, privilege and advantage and success, you know, whatever the formula is, but they're a person who has power and can teach you something. And let's have that conversation and let's
Yeah.
move it. Let's move the mountain.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything you're saying, like we're talking about networking, but there's so much more to it. I mean, to your point, networking is opening up resources for others.
Mm.
It's mentoring and helping others. To Narav's point, it's also about educating yourself through others. So you had mentioned that you learned so much in a month from this network. So it's about education, and and with Lysandra it was about opportunity and positioning and visibility. So in a month, look at what's happened. I'm sure it's probably a little longer than that, but look at what's happened. But I think the goal of a networking group is all of this. It's working. So congratulations. And you guys are awesome. I love what you're doing. I encourage everyone listening to get involved, if that's cool with you guys.
Yes.
Right.
And let's kind of, I want to hear from each of you, and just if there's any advice that you could offer folks that that are seeking a new position, whether they're an aspiring MSL or a current MSL, but they're looking for a new position, or if there's someone that's looking to transition into industry, what advice would you have?
Well, I guess I would say, thinking about myself, my issue is that I wasn't putting myself out there. And so the first step in doing anything and transitioning into entering is putting yourself out there. If you don't put yourself out there, no one knows that you exist. You just become this small little person on on an island, and you're there all by yourself. So if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't try to start making those, saying hello to the people that's on LinkedIn, and at least taking that one step, then you're going to be there forever.
Awesome.
That's the one thing I can say.
Awesome. Nirav, what about you?
Similar to Lashandra, I want to say to everyone who's out there who's trying hard to get the job, applying for hundreds of jobs online and getting that automated rejection in their email sitting there. I still get rejected for a job that I applied like 6 months ago, and automatic rejection. You are not alone. It's not a reflection. A rejection is not a reflection on your inability. It's just how the system is. You have to put yourself out there. You have to form contacts with real people. Reach out to them. You message 10 people on LinkedIn, one will respond to you, and that's gonna be enough sometimes. So just keep networking, keep at it. Don't doubt yourself. come join us, and we can motivate you, we can help you out as to our best abilities. And I would also like to add one thing about our platform is that our name and our mission is geared towards diversity, but we are open to everybody.
Yeah.
And there is no we don't want to, we want to include everybody. We want everybody to come in, even aspiring, privileged people, as I don't know how else to put this in the politically correct way. Please come and join us. It's all about creating a platform and having a conversation, and introducing each other to people who can get us those jobs. So
awesome. I love it. So Rachel, what about, let's definitely give you an opportunity to kind of wrap things up and share any final thoughts you have and final advice, and anything else that you want to share.
Sure. First, I will say that the hole that we think we need to jump through, or the hoop we need to jump through, is much larger than we think it is. I think, the world is a much bigger place. The opportunity is there. It becomes a game of persistence, if you will, especially in breaking into the MSL role. And it is about networking. And for me, what that means, and it meant on my personal journey in breaking in, is creating a team of people who see you, who see your value, and especially when you're having a low moment, can say, no, you're meant to do this, you're going to do this, it's going to be great. You need a cheerleader as part of your network. That was very important as part of my journey. And I would say as well, to Lashandra's point here, that showing up is about 80% of success. Just being a part of the story, a part of the event, what have you, it's 80% of it. And 80% is a passing grade, right?
Yeah,
80% is a passing grade. So you're going to get there. And along those lines, we have 4 avenues that we see for 2021, where there's the ability to show up, to be a part of DEMA in a more visible way. The first is a mentor-mentee program that we're going to be developing. And this was the brainchild of Nirav as well. Or I'm going to give you credit, Nirav. And so that's going to be off the ground. We're going to be looking for people to get involved. And again, the ask is going to be, do you have experience with this, or do you have an interest in this? Those are the people we want involved, right? The second one is not so glitzy and glamorous, but 501c3 status. So we are going to be looking to become a nonprofit. And if you've ever done that, we would like to have you involved, or if you have an interest, we'd like to have you involved. Again, those are the 2 criteria. In terms of programming, so Nirav said we have monthly meetings, and those are for aspirants to communicate some cutting edge science. It's also for a veteran to come and speak to some topic of interest to help others. We're going to be looking to go out into the community and say, hey, what are you doing in February? What are you doing in March? Could you speak on such and such a date? We'd love to have you. There's going to be a committee. Lashandra is going to be heading that up. Again, do you have any experience with that? Or would you like to gain experience? We'd love to have you involved in that. And then the fourth opportunity is going to be data and analytics. We want to be able to tell our story with data. So right now we have over 350 individual members across industry and aspirants. It's a really good mix, but we really want to look at that more to see how we can leverage who we are. And so I'm hoping to do some more deep dives into that data. And if you have any experience or if you have any interest, we'd love for you to get involved with DEMA.
Well, you've come such a long way in such a short period of time. I can only imagine what it's going to be like a year from now. So next December, we have to make it a point to do this again, and or maybe sooner, just to get a status, update. And just a little plug, I will be one of your guests. January 14th is the date, right?
That's a date. We're happy to have you.
So I'm going to be joining you guys. So I hope that everybody listening today will be available to spend some time with us on January 14th. We're not sure the time yet, but we'll definitely get the announcement out there. So
thank you so much, Tom.
Are you guys ready for 2021?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm also starting a new job. I'm going to be transitioning, still at EMD Serono, but in a global medical capacity. And
Wow.
I haven't signed on the dotted line yet, but so that's as specific as I can be. But it was great.
Well, congratulations to you too. Everybody's got new jobs.
Yeah.
I've been doing the same job for 19 years. I just celebrated my 19-year anniversary, and I'll be doing this till I'm 100.
Congratulations.
So, yeah. I'll still be here in 50 years from now. But anyway, I just want to thank you guys again. Congratulate you guys again. You're awesome. I love what you're doing. And I'm really grateful that you were all able to join me. And I want to wish you guys all the best in 2021. I'll see you on January 14th. But we'll also keep in touch throughout the year for sure.
Perfect. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
You got it. All righty. Talk soon. Take care, guys.
All right. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the show. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe so that you don't miss episodes in the future. And feel free to leave a rating or a review or a comment. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.